Like so many other bands that I discovered, the Suicide Machines came to me through my Monday night ritual. College radio. Mods and Rockers with the mighty JC. I can't remember what song I heard first, but what I do remember was I did everything I could do to get that album as soon as possible after I first heard them. I listened to that album so much once I got it that I still remember every lyric front to back. The Suicide Machines were this frantic blend of hardcore punk and ska that was a massive departure from the sound of other third-wave ska bands dominating the airwaves at the time. While I enjoyed the extra mozzarella stick sound of bands like Real Big Fish and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones,
Sell out with me, oh yeah.
The aggression and frustration exploding out of the Suicide Machines just spoke to me differently. One thing that really stuck out on their album was, unlike other ska bands at the time, the horns were more of an accent, while bands like Real Big Fish had them front and center. Now let's talk about the album. That opening snare roll into an ultra-fast riff, before quickly flipping to some upstroke ska for the verse, had me hooked. It was catchy, so energetic, and let's be honest, the lyrics resonated with me, going through teenage heartbreak and trying to move on. I hadn't really discovered the local hardcore scene yet, so when he was screaming, this totally blew my mind. I had never heard such a completely guttural scream in a song like that before. I'd heard some yelling and shouting, but this was totally different, and somehow still musical. And that lead right after the intro and Break the Glass felt totally alien to me at the time. It was almost like circus music on acid. It was so totally out there, but it fit so perfectly. Then the intro to Hey was just so heavy. There were so many musical elements to this album that I had never heard mashed together like this. And I won't lie that some of the themes of this album were lost on me at the time. While I definitely understood the feeling of isolation in Islands, I never understood that connection it had to the bigger punk community. Being an awkward teenager trying to find myself, I latched onto that feeling of isolation, and that my dreams were out of reach like diamonds in the sky. And if we want to talk about irony being completely lost on me, let's talk about the Van song. Here we have a brutal roast of the scene's fashion police. Probably my favorite track on the album. In my head at the time, I thought this was more of a love song for Vans. That Vans were the ultimate punk shoe. And I went and got Airwalks. And no, not the Airwalks you're thinking of either. You're picturing these ones right here, aren't you? Yep, I refused to get these ones because everybody had them. I found some of their GTOs on sale and literally confused everybody. I got asked so many times why I wouldn't just get the normal Airwalks. Somehow I missed the entire point of the song. Sang along to it and I didn't care. I wasn't punk enough for Vans. And then we get to the last track. I don't want to hear it. Keep in mind, I was still new to punk. I had no idea this was a cover song. I thought it was brilliant. I loved the lyrics. I loved how the song was arranged. It was the perfect Suicide Machines song, until it wasn't. You can imagine my surprise when not much later I got my first Slayer album after wearing out dubs of some of their old records. I grabbed their new album, Undisputed Attitude. If you know this album, you probably know where the story's going. When I Don't Want to Hear It came on, my little 14-year-old brain imploded. Why would Slayer be covering Suicide Machines? So after calming down and scouring the liner notes, I noticed that none of the people credited for writing the song were in either band. And that's how I discovered Minor Threat. Through Slayer and the Suicide Machines. So I'm curious, what band did you discover because somebody else was covering one of their songs? Let me know in the comments.